My meeting with the Prime Minister was positive overall. I made it very clear that his government must halt introduction of its proposed Just Transition legislation, its emissions reduction cap, and its ban on electricity from natural gas, and to immediately come to the table to work collaboratively with Alberta on a joint plan to attract energy investment and workers into Alberta's conventional, non-conventional, and emerging energy sectors, while simultaneously reducing Canada's and Alberta's net emissions. Now, the Prime Minister seemed to express a willingness to explore this collaborative strategy through our respective ministers, and already this morning we met with our key ministers on this file and we'll be following up as well with correspondence with Mr. Trudeau regarding next steps in the near future. I did make it crystal clear to the Prime Minister during our meeting that Alberta's expectations for what must and must not be included in any future leaked legislation, future federal legislation, targets and policies have to include abandonment of any references to just transition or any other terminology or policies that signal the phase out of Alberta's conventional or non-conventional energy sector or workforce. We must also see increased workforce training and participation in all of the conventional, non-conventional and emerging energy sectors. We need to see the need for formal consultation and collaboration with Alberta before the federal government announces or implements legislation, targets or any policies that materially impact Alberta's energy sector, a substantial increase in LNG exports to Asia and other markets through the lens of meeting emissions targets through replacement of higher emitting fuel sources with clean Alberta LNG and getting credit for that, as well as joint federal-provincial initiatives to facilitate increased private investment in carbon capture, utilization and storage, nuclear, hydrogen, bitumen beyond combustion, geothermal, lithium, helium, zero-emission vehicles, petrochemical, and other emerging technologies and fuels that make Alberta's conventional and non-conventional energy sector increasingly emissions neutral. Now, let me be brutally honest. The Prime Minister has not yet shown himself to be a friend of Alberta. There are a litany of federal policies that he has imposed that have been exceptionally harmful to our economy and to our investment climate, and that have cost Albertans tens of thousands of jobs and tens of billions of investment and projects. But this issue is far bigger than me or this Prime Minister. I know that, and I hope that he knows that too. There are trillions of dollars in revenues, hundreds of billions of dollars in investment, and millions of jobs riding on Alberta and Ottawa working together instead of in conflict, and creating an attractive and certain investment climate that millions around the world want to invest in and move to. The Prime Minister is being criticized across the country and from within his own party as being unnecessarily divisive and unable to improve national unity or economic growth. Well, here's a golden opportunity. Come to the table and work collaboratively with Alberta on probably the most important economic issue facing this country in a generation. I'm opening the door, but I also have to be pretty clear. If the Prime Minister chooses to slam this door in our face and moves unilaterally forward with just transition or other impossible and arbitrary emissions targets or policies without Alberta's involvement and agreement, Alberta will be relentless in our opposition, and we will use every tool at our disposal to protect Albertans, their jobs and their future. The ball is now in the Prime Minister's court, and I hope his response to my offer is the right one.